Well, people always comment on my truth-telling in my performances. I don't sit around thinking, and I'm going to go out and tell the truth tonight, or I'm going to tell my truth tonight. I've always been unable to repress telling the truth, because somewhere along the line of growing up, I really believed that you're supposed to tell the truth. I didn't realize that they just say that. You're not supposed to tell the truth.
Monica Lewinsky is not a bad girl, okay? Let's see, we're going to try to figure this out. All right. Nobody who is paid $600,000 to write a book about the 8 hours of compulsive sex that they had with somebody over a 2-year period is a bad girl, okay? The last time I had compulsive sex, 60 hours in 3 days. All right? You're figuring this out.
For me, the greatest motivating force in my life is my desire to express myself. And I will express myself with an audience, without an audience. And I think that was something certainly that Jack Smith made crystal clear, was, his desire to express himself. There was no separation in his life and his art. So I grew up in that kind of atmosphere. Everyone that I knew was always expressing. They didn't have to be on stage in order to be performing. And yet it wasn't the kind of performance, some egomaniac who's on all the time. It was different than that. It was highly self-conscious and then not self-conscious at all.
What, we're going to have a fight about a sitcom?
No, we're not going to have a fucking fight about a sitcom. We're going to have a fight about your bullshit. Why don't you take your bullshit right back to New York, huh? You know something? You're living in a fucking fantasy world. You know that? You want to be an artist?
Oh, come on.
Sure, be an artist. You want to write? You think you got something to say? Let me tell you something. Let me clue you into something. Art, Sue, is for rich people. And you're not one of them. Ah!
Talk about the Lower East Side. I mean, what does the Lower East Side signify to you?
Well, the Lower East Side for countless decades was where rabble-rousers and weirdos went to live, because nobody wanted to be here. Everybody who came to live on the Lower East Side was trying to get out of here. It was a place of immigration. So you came, you lived here for a while, and you tried to get out. It was poor. There was nothing about it that wasn't poor. It wasn't like Harlem that had stately homes that had fallen into disrepair. They were tenements. You were always trying to get out of there, except for this other immigrant, which was the weirdo, loser, downtown type that came and stayed and loved it, and I was someone like that.
You don't know the ground you're standing on. This is the Lower East Side. This is home of the ASAC. ASAC. Amphetamine Anarchy. AA. I see you looking at me. You think I'm a cockroach? Go on, say it. You think I'm a cockroach? You think Avenue A be prettier without me? You wanna ban the bums, huh? And turn the men's shelter into some giant student union for all you people who graduated from college 10 years ago, but you can't get used to it?
Now there's the suburbanization that's taken over New York, and people who've moved to New York who don't want to be part of New York. They want New York to be like where they're from.
People from all over the world used to come to New York, and they all wanted to be part of it all. People were intoxicated and inspired by the amazing energy in the streets of New York, the palpable sense of freedom. People came to New York, and we wanted to be like New York. We wanted to reinvent ourselves in the face of that amazing magnetic energy. Now people come to New York, and they want New York to be like where they're from. They don't think they need to reinvent themselves. They think they just need to become successful. And somewhere along the line, they've gotten the idea that they are fine, just the way they are. Well, they're not fine! They're dreadful, they're horrible! And everyone knows it, even people who moved here 2 weeks ago can't stand them, because they're everywhere! Obscuring New York!
They come and they think that they're just perfectly fine the way they are, and they're cool and they're hip, and just by virtue of being young and cool and hip, that they have a right to blab on endlessly about themselves and their work or whatever. So I would react. Yes, I admit it. I would react, and then people would get upset because they have bourgeois values. And in bourgeois values, you don't talk to people who you haven't been introduced to, you know? And of course in New York, downtown New York doesn't have it. It has ghetto values. I expect people, weird people, to scream in the streets in New York. That's what New York's, one of the things that New York is about. But these people who believe in the suburbanization of New York, who believe in Seinfeld, believe in Friends, believe in Felicity, that New York is not represented to them. So they think it's really weird that you have something to say about their inanity.
You look at me, weird, but in the end, I'm gonna rescue you. You didn't know that, did you? Because the whole Lower East Side, that's a landing pad for the aliens. Yeah, and in the end, I'm gonna rescue you. Because I can go with less sleep, less food, less water, less kindness. I'm a samurai. I'm an A-head. You look at me, I see you, pass me on the street, and you point at me, go, 60s burnout, old hippie. I'm no hippie. I'm an A-head.
Youth covers up for a lot of things. 20s, 30s, and into your 40s, you know, your youth will get you by. But after that, your own authenticity is of great comfort. And if you don't have authenticity, when you get to be into your late 40s and then going on for the rest of your life, you don't have anything. And believe me, you don't want to be in that position. So always be in touch with your authenticity. And that, your authenticity, that's your creativity. That's everything. Everything is there. That's the, what would I call it? That's the wellspring, you know? Yeah.